Hi everyone, it's Raina. So this video is for attracting a Libra lover. And Libra is a sign like Taurus, ruled by Venus. So there's already going to be a propensity for wanting romance. This person lives, breathes, thinks about love. And so how can you appeal to such a person? Well, again, as I have been saying with all these videos, it has to be coming from the heart. This has to be something that you're normally capable of anyway. So don't try to be something that you're not. But with Libra, one of the things that they really respect are people who are polite, people who are gracious, because this is how they are. They don't like people who are rough around the edges. So if you think that you're going to impress them by being crude or anything like that, chances are that's not going to happen. They'll be turned off by it more times than not. And anyone who likes to wear schlubby clothes is probably not going to get very far either. Now, obviously, I'm talking about the pure expression of Libra. There may be Librans that are not that on point with their physical appearance and don't really care about that in other people. I'm sure there are outliers, but in general, somebody with a prominent Libra, especially the sun sign, I'd even say Venus in Libra, is going to be attracted to people who may be physically attractive, but at the very least are well-groomed and who have an eye for harmony and color. People that tend to clash things, may make a Libra person go crazy, because I'm sure that there are Libra people out there who are so like color coordinated that if anything is a little bit off, they can't think straight. I bet you there are people like that. And the thing about Libra, though, is that it is an air sign. So Libra people are intellectual, and a lot of them tend to be very well-versed when it comes to art. And this can include painters, composers, playwrights, and things like that. They may enjoy cultural pursuits. So if you're somebody who likes to go to a ball game all the time, who's into sports, you may not find that they really are attracted to you very much. Now, again, I do know people who are Librans who like sports, so it's not going to be that way across the board. I know at least one who does, who's into it. So it's going to depend on other factors. But in general, Libra people enjoy things that involve stimulating their minds as well as the aesthetics of it. So music and the visual arts are very appealing to a Libra person, as in terms of pastimes. Now, parties are very much the case as well. Libra people make great guests because they are very sociable and they know the social graces. They can get along with people. They try to get along with people, in other words. They don't try to, be provocative and get people upset. That's why you can't take me anywhere. No, it's not that I try to, but you know how it goes. But some people are very gracious and they know how to make other people feel good. And also great conversationalists, Libras. So you should bring that to the table as well. If you're somebody who really doesn't have much on your mind, you haven't read much, you maybe just are kind of a basic person, you may feel like there is like this gap between you and the Libra person. You may find them very physically attractive, because it seems to me that Librans tend to be more attractive than the average person. And if that's the case, you cannot treat them just based on their looks. Even a woman, I shouldn't say even a woman, that sounds kind of sexist, doesn't it? But women, I think I said even because women a lot of times really want to be attractive compared to a man. But even those women who try to be attractive, who happen to be born under the sign of Libra, do not want to be treated as just an object. Whether it's a sexual object, whether it's this beautiful painting or beautiful sculpture that you are admiring, that's not going to do it for a Libra woman. She wants to be seen as attractive, so definitely if you compliment her appearance, she's going to enjoy that. But if you kind of base your admiration just on her physical appearance, I don't think that many Libra women will appreciate that, because she wants to be acknowledged for her fine mind. And so make sure that you have the goods to be able to do that yourself, because you may not even know that she has a fine mind. You're so busy looking at her physical appearance. Librans are a particular sign that enjoy the high life, like Leo, like Aries, like Sagittarius, the fire signs, you could say in general. And, of course, mileage may vary for all of those signs as well. But Libra really likes beautiful things. And so they have to have money in order to have those things. So if you're going out with a Libra person, please do not pinch pennies, because that will not go over well. It's not that Librans are gold diggers or anything like that, but they just want to know that you appreciate what they appreciate and that you're not going to be chintzy, as a partner. That you're going, not that you have to provide them with all of their material goods, but just that you're down with it, that you're down with having nice things. And this could be a man or a woman, because if you think about it, a lot of arguments that couples get into stem from finances and the different ways that people view spending money. And I haven't spent quite enough time talking about these differences and how, because some signs are more economical than others. Libra isn't one of those signs. And this is important to know if you happen to be a Cancer individual, because you may feel like you want to pull out your hair when you see the way that Librans tend to spend money, which is basically like water. And you may think that there's something seriously wrong with that. But the thing is that if a person has the right mindset, they may think there's more where that comes from. And I don't have to hold on to my money in order to keep the flow going. And if that person really is seeing that demonstrated in their life, then how can we argue with that? A sign like Cancer, actually all of the water signs and definitely earth signs tend to be fiscally conservative. Although Taurus people have been known, Taurus people can definitely spend money from time to time. But in general, the earth and the water signs are going to want to conserve. They tend to be more conservative, and they include money in this category. And so that could be a major difference of opinion in terms of the direction two people are going in. So when you're getting to know somebody, just look at those habits that the person has. Even the small things that we think aren't going to make much of a difference can definitely come back to bite someone later on when you're getting intimately involved with them and you're mingling your finances. Librans like harmony, and there are certain signs, like, for instance, Aries, that tend to be quite provocative, trollish, trying to instigate conflict because it stimulates them. Aries is actually the opposite sign of Libra. So this can be a definite bone of contention for a sign like Libra to deal with somebody who they feel is upsetting the apple cart too often. And my personal philosophy is that sometimes those people that affect us in a certain way are providing us with a sort of vantage point that we need. You know, if we are always with people that are carbon copies of us, how do we ever get challenged into looking at life from a different perspective? I think it's wonderful to get that perspective. However, on a day-to-day basis, if you have too many differences with somebody in terms of temperament, for example, which I put under this category, you can feel like it's very stressful. So a Libra person wants everything to be unicorns and lollipops, usually. So if you're the kind of person who is either very combative, and not because you're mean, although the Libra person might accuse you of being mean, you may just be somebody who's outspoken, who is a little bit of a mischievous soul, who likes to kind of get under people's skin. And that's what being provocative is. It's like you're provoking people into a reaction. Or maybe you like being controversial just because you want to stand out, you want to say things that are forbidden, whatever the reason you have for being like this. Librans may find you too dangerous for them. And the danger is coming from their temperament getting thrown off kilter. Now, Libra, the sign of Libra is ruled by the scales. So Libra people need a certain kind of balance in their life. And when a Libra person is not balanced, they can get downright goofy. And you will see an imbalanced Libra person, they're kind of wackadoodle. So they want to stay on an even keel more than the average person. And so being agreeable in temperament and not being too, I would call it either controversial, outspoken, or just contentious, where it seems like there's a lot of arguments. If you're that type of person, argumentative, you probably aren't going to like this person long term because they're going to constantly try to keep you tamped down, and you're going to feel like you can't be yourself. Well, I'm just telling you ahead of time that this is because they do not like conflict. Ironically, they seem to attract it quite a bit. So that's what happens when you don't like something, when you resist it. What you resist, you persist. What you resist persists. And so that's something that they may have to learn for their spiritual lesson. But you're not necessarily going to be the one that's the teacher because they may not allow you to be. And then maybe in retrospect, they think about it and they say, that person really had a point. A lot of things they talked about were important, and I felt uncomfortable about them. So what else is a Libra person like? Well, being polite, saying thank you. If a Libra person observes you treating others, like, for instance, if you're in a restaurant, I think any situation where other people are catering to you, like in a restaurant, in even like in a checkout line, do you say thank you when somebody hands you change, or you just grab it and go? You know, do you acknowledge the little nice things that other people do? That is showing gratitude, and that scores big time with Libra people. They like polite people, they like grateful people, and they dislike rude people. One thing to understand is that Libra people can be yes people. They can be people pleasers. So I think that you would really score a lot of big points by stating to a Libra person, especially if you notice this behavior that seems a little bit inauthentic. Read the body language. If you ask a Libra person to do something and they say yes, kind of like a knee-jerk response, but you can sense that they really don't want to do that thing, let them know that they don't have to say yes, that you want to know really and truly how they feel, and you're not going to freak out and you're not going to reject them if they say no to you about something. In other words, give the Libra person permission to be themselves, to be authentic, because they can feel safe, you know, and this is something that can be really difficult for them in life because they fear that rejection. They fear that disapproval. And if you let them know that your feelings about them won't change if they tell you exactly how they feel, that can go a long way. Okay, well, I'm going to end that here. I could keep talking about all of this for quite a while. I hope that you enjoyed this. Take care. Bye.